Hi guys, PJ here, back with another dungeon. In fact, the very latest one just released. This is Ghosts of the Deep. Now, this dungeon, in my opinion, is actually very good, very long, and probably as complex as some of the easier raids. Yeah, you did read that right. This video will show you where all the ghost fragments are, so all the collectibles that you're going to need. So if you're doing a challenge on this, you want to get all your collectibles, this will show you where they all are. I will show you each encounter. Now, I'm sorry this is so long, but like a lot of other videos that have been done on this topic, I haven't cut anything from the submersed underwater sections where you've got to traverse a long distance. Okay, it's easy to get lost, so I've pretty much left the whole thing in. You know, I will sort of play that through for you so you can see exactly where to go. And of course, sometimes the ghost fragments, like the first one we're picking up right here, you know, do require showing you where exactly to go. So I've not really cut anything. I've only cut stuff where, you know, it's pretty damn obvious what you're meant to be doing. Okay, so that being said, I just want to give a really big shout out to Lone Wolf and Cub, who stayed up till 4 AM on launch morning finding all of these ghost fragments and did a very good job. So I've now run this 3 times at time of recording. A lot of this footage is from the first run. Okay, so if it looks like there's a lot of being shown where to go by Lone Cub there, yeah, like I say, massive shout out. Anyway, guys, this dungeon scales to the power level of your fire team. So if, like me, you went in at 1805 and you've got members that are a lot higher than that, you're going to be under-leveled. Ideally 1810, but you get the gist. First things first, you're going to come to this, I don't know, shrine, ritual site. To kick it all off, you're going to shoot the 2 dudes at the door, kill them. Now, I will mention it again. I mentioned it on all my previous Destiny videos. You know, we don't play this 24/7. We don't have the perfect god rolls, okay? A lot of the footage you see is people where they're one-shotting stuff and the one-phasing bosses. Yeah, that's not us. We do play it a lot, but we're not, you know, perfect at it by a long shot. And as you can see, we're a little bit older. Well, some of us are anyway. So, bear that one in mind. This is a more, if you like, realistic view of how it's going to take you to do it, okay? As for time, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Right, so you've kicked it all off, and after a short while, an ogre will appear. You shoot the ogre, some green slime appears on the floor. You follow the green slime. The green slime disappears, but shortly after you will see a symbol floating in the sky and another little ritual going on. Shoot everything that's there, including the wizard that's there. There is a little wizard or warlock or whatever you want to call them there. Shoot that and more green slime will appear. This basically goes for 3. So you've got 3 lots of green slime to follow, but the green slime doesn't take you all the way to the location. So there's a little bit of figuring it all out. When you reach the very end, and you've still got your symbol there floating above you, you've got some slightly different things to kill. You'll see another wizard and some other acolytes, things and bits and bobs like that. Kill everything off. But there's a difference. When you kill this very last one that we're killing right now, her ghost, you know, the thing with the legs that you see nowadays, and you have to crush it, will appear. Don't forget, crush it as fast as you can. Again, the green slime's still there. Now, the person that has crushed it will have a countdown timer on the left-hand side, and that countdown timer is basically to get back as fast as you can to the original, the starting location ritual side. Okay, but you've got to do that first. Like I say, you've got a light bearer wizard here to get rid of. We're still at the symbol. We diverse then to go and look for a ghost fragment. So 3 lots, green slime. Kill the you know, the whatever bad guys at the end, crush the ghost, take the ghost back to the original ritual site, and then you will see a deep sight orb, okay, because you've got it with you, so you've actually got the power. Only the person carrying that crushed the ghost can do this. When you activate deep sight, all the monuments will light up around the edge, because you'll notice some of them missing. There's like 2 or 3 monuments, but there's some round platforms and stuff. They will all light up, and one of them will have the matching symbol. There you go, it's like an equals symbol, maybe a divide symbol, whatever. And basically the person who's crushed that ghost goes to that and activates that symbol. Pretty straightforward, not too bad. In fact, the first encounter is probably the easiest encounter of the lot. I know the very first time I came into this, I was clicking statues, looking at other concrete structures and doing all sorts. Yeah, it's the ogre. So you can see the ogre in the distance. We've done one. This is now our second one. Kill the ogre, light up the green slime on the floor, follow the green slime, green slime disappears. Keep going and you'll normally find a little ritual going on. Rinse and repeat, same sort of thing. If you're going to collect ghost fragments, and like I say, I have got all of them one way or another showing you where they are on this video, don't do it obviously when you've got a countdown happening, because sometimes it can take you a little bit off the beaten path. You know, if you've got some countdown happening, you know, don't go looking for fragments and stuff, not really worth it. As for builds and stuff, we're not really looking at super precision DPS like some dungeons. You can use rocket launchers and stuff on this. Just bear in mind the end boss at the end of the dungeon has 2 million health and a shield, and very complex mechanics to get that shield down. You did hear me correctly, 2 million. That's an awful lot, especially if you're slightly under leveled like I was. Pretty tricky. I estimate this dungeon to be one of the harder ones, but it is good. It's just a bit longer, like I say, hour and a half, 2 hours. Anyway, rinse and repeat on this until you get to the very end, and of course you can drop that doorway down. So you've got to get all the symbols, put them on all the statues, and then the door will open. As soon as you've got the door open, get yourself inside. There's some random mobs in there to get rid of, but nothing too difficult to dispatch. Once inside, you've got a bit of a jaunt. Like I say, some of the traversal sections on this particular dungeon are quite long without any combat, do require figuring out sort of which tunnel to go in, which section to go in, where to drop down to. Some of it's underwater and you've got the air bubbles. There's a lot to it. So in this section, we are actually going to go to our next ghost fragment, or collectible if you like. After collecting your first chest, of course, don't forget that one. First chest does pop straight after doing that first section, so you could farm that. You know, it's not a difficult mechanic to do. It's quite long-winded, but, you know, I'm sure once you've practiced it a few times, you'll be able to get on top of that and get yourself chest farming on that. Now, of course, the weapons to this are... I'd say there's a bit of controversy about whether they're good or not. But I think with the correct rolls, they could be good. I mean, certainly one of them is a MIDI tool, you know, recoloured. But the rocket launcher, yeah, you know, it's the armour. The armour looks absolutely fantastic. It's got a brilliant look to it. And after doing 3 of these at time of recording, I've got, 3 warlock bands. So RNG is pretty bad, guys. I mean, I've got 3 of the same item. I think Lone Wolf said he'd got something like 3 of the gloves. So you can't win. Anyway, we're on to our second collectible. So we've just jumped through the hole in the mesh there, run all the way along to the end. Try not to fall down, because it is, you know, a death sort of fall if you do that. Jump up here and then jump up. Again, it's a bit like a ladder. You know, you just got to figure out where to go and jump into this big open window. And hey presto, right hand corner, there is your collectible. Jobs are good. And I do think these are, you know, ghost fragments. In Destiny 1, if you've ever played it, you actually picked up dead ghosts. There's quite a few of them to go and collect. So it's a similar sort of principle. And like I say, if you're doing the challenge, if you're trying to collect them all, you know, you need to know where they all are, and hopefully this sort of helps you with that. I do cover also the last, the hidden chests, the last 2. There's like 2 hidden chests in this. And I do show you where those are as well, because obviously there's no point in going through all this dungeon if you're not going to try and max everything. You know, you can probably do it on your first run. It might take you a while to do it, but at least you'll have got everything, and, you know, it's up to you then when you do it again. There's no rush unless you farm in armour and weapons like we are at the moment, trying to get a full set, which, yeah, does take forever by the look of things, but still. Anyway, drop down. There's a lot of dropping down in this. Just be careful as you drop down. Some of the drops are absolutely huge, and of course you can kill yourself by landing too hard. There's also some spinny, not blade sections, but if you clout one of the spinny things as you're going down, you're also going to die from doing that. So here we've digressed again. We're going off. We're going to jump up onto these cylinders, go past this tree, and there's another fragment for you to collect. Like I say, you know, it's worth getting them all. Now the next set of traversal, if you like, is interfered with by some knights and bits and bobs to counter. So as you're running through, try not to get blasé and relax. You will still have a few bits to kill. But we're going now to the next fragment that we're going to collect. Now, this fragment's a little bit different to some of the other ones in that it's moving. Or, I'll put it this way, you're going to be moving to collect the fragment. The fragment's still, but you're going to be moving and you've got to collect it quickly, and it's easily missed. In fact, a lot of people I know have actually missed this fragment. So they've done a lot of the other ones, and this particular one they've missed it. it's because it's sort of out of sight from where you look, so pay attention to where I jump when we get there. Like I say, you've got to dispatch some random bad guys, nothing too bad. Drop down the hole. It's not really a lift shaft as such. We're going to drop down and go and have a look where that is. But it is tricky, so get your jumping shoes on for this one, and hopefully your parkour, you know, is good enough, because if you fall off, you're dead, just like on a lot of other things. Anyway, we're going to go down to here, this section, and there's an open window, only one of them's open, and you'll see a rotating platform there on the left hand side where my fire team's shooting at. Jump on the platform, walk forward and wait. There you go, collect. Did you see that, guys? On the pole in the middle is the collectible, and you've got to wait for the platform to come round. Then you jump off the platform, go all the way down to the bottom. Like I say, that's really easily missed. You know, it's kudos there for spotting that woman that we were all found at 4 AM in the morning. Yeah. So all the way to the bottom. Don't land as hard as I did, because as you see there, I nearly died. And we are actually going to go and find another fragment. Like I say, there's quite a lot. I think there's 12 off the top of the head to collect. I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure there's 12. And again, we are, well, now we're going underwater. And you've got the air bubble problem. The air bubbles do respawn, but not very quickly. So we're going in this room. There's an air bubble up and another fragment. There you go. Job's a good one. If you're all grouped together, you're okay, because when you pop the air bubble, your teammates will get the air from it. If you're separated, however, you've got to hope that there's enough separation for your teammate to A, stay alive long enough before the pressure resistance kills him, or, you know, you're going to get the next bubble along. So try and stay as near to each other as possible when you're doing these underwater sections. I mean, you'll see it quite often. I come pretty damn near to dying and your helmet starts to crack, and it's like, oh God, you know, you're not going to make it. And some of this traversal, it's the longest I've seen in a dungeon, and to be honest with you, it does rival some of the raids, especially some of the earlier raids. So just bear that one in mind. Bugs, problems with the game in this dungeon. I know of a couple. I've seen one. Some of the shaders don't work properly on the new armor. Yeah, so in other words, you'll put the shader on and some of the armor will go completely invisible, so you see through. That's a known bug. Bungie are aware of it, so hopefully they're fixing it. By the way, in the background here, what you're seeing is we're on the way to another fragment, another hidden fragment. So technically, you don't have to sort of go off path as much as we're doing here. But like I say, if you're going to do it and you want to collect everything, you know, fair enough, sort of watch this. But we're sharing bubbles there, trying to keep together as much as possible. Other bug that I know of is the very end boss. Sometimes the mechanic doesn't go right, and I will explain the mechanic to you when we get there. And basically, it completely disables you from killing the end boss, and you've got to reset, you know, at that point, sort of thing, and start all over again with the end boss. Not fun. There's another collectible for you to get. Yeah, right off the beaten track. So unfortunately, it's not a game-breaking bug, because obviously you can reload the checkpoint, you know, and go at the boss again. I've not personally had the bug happen. Okay, like I said, I've run it 3 times, not had the bug happen. I've spoke to people that have run it more times than I have, and they've not seen the bug. But I have seen the bug in the media, and one person I know has had that bug. So just be aware, guys. It's a pretty long-winded affair to kill the boss. You know, unless you're one of these, like I say, totally god roll people that's fantastic at the game, then, you know, fair enough. You're probably not watching this video. But to us, it took a while. Anyway, more traversal. Let's get out of some water and sort of get to the next section. I'm not going to skip anything. I'll show you exactly where to go. Next collectible coming up. like I say, this does take a while to get all these things. They are far and wide, and it's right outside a window where you sort of wouldn't expect to really have to go, but hey, they like hiding these things, and they have done a decent job of hiding them. You can see it there on the left, just after this little pillar. Look, there it is. You can collect that one. Job's a good one. Onward we go.
Triumph. How our sister's gift to me was treated with such care. Screams like a choir as their mountains trembled. Screams like a choir as their seas boiled. I stepped down into that world, thrust my sword into the heart of Torabonal, and carved lies from truth.
And yeah, another collectible. We're on our way to get yet another one, another underwater section. They're pretty well spread apart from each other, these ones are, guys, and they do take a lot of finding if you're doing this blind. Like I say, it's not something I did, most certainly not, but there it is. There's another collectible, and more long-winded running around. But this area does bring you into the location of a secret chest. So while you're here, sort of thing, if you're going to make the chest, you might as well get the collectible. They are pretty near each other. As you're running down here, you need to be sort of staying left, and you'll find two ledges. Sort of the second ledge on the left. So sort of jump, steer yourself into the left. There you go. There is an air bubble and everything. Onto the ledge. Through the layer, you can gasp your air there, and your chest is just there. So you get some nice loot from that one. There you go. I got the new Pacific. Like I said, that's the mid multi-tool basically. It's reskinned version of it, or better version of it if you like, from days of old. But there you go, secret chest. So we carry on with our very, very long-winded run. Random ads turn up. I'll let the video play so you can see where to go. Next collectible around this corner. So I suppose the one good thing is, you know, you're doing this, you are exploring the map as such and having a look around, because let's face it, this is a very good looking dungeon. You know, it's nice aesthetically. I really do think they've done a good job on it, and in fact overall with the mechanics and everything, I think they've done a great job. there's your collectible right on the edge of that. I don't know, what is it? Lily pad, underwater, whatever it is anyway. It's there. I will quickly point out, like I have in some of my other dungeon videos, you'll notice some stuttering. That's not the game, it's the way the Xbox Series X records footage if you plug an external SSD in to record footage, and that's what I do. It's just a side effect, guys. There's nothing I can do about it to get rid of it. I have some of my videos done on PS5, some done on PC. It just depends, you know, where your fire team is, sort of thing. So if you've seen stuttering, sorry, that's just a side effect of the DVR, one of them things. Anyway, let's go on with even more parkour and running around and getting long distances done. Okay, we are coming up onto what is basically a theme park slide, a long slide. Now, when you go down the slide, sort of bank left with it, because at the bottom there's a bit sticking out and it can sort of jut you off to the right and make you miss the platform you're going to land on. Yeah, we did that. So just stay to the left-hand side if possible. Right, we're now basically getting into another secret. So we're going to jump over here to where this waterfall is. Careful positioning, it's quite a small opening. There you go, one more collectible behind that. Great, easily missed, I'm sure you'll agree. And we've got even more parkour and traversal to do. I've never ever known a dungeon with this much traversal, but it's big, it's good, I like it, you know, it's interesting. Sometimes this area here looks confusing because you can't see where to jump to, but in reality it's not too bad. I mean, I stood here for a minute thinking, where do I go? Like I say, this footage, this piece is from my first run, so there you go, you can make it quite easily. Look, you just got to pop, pop, pop all the way to the top.
You are my navigator.
Be aware of the shielded knight in this underwater section. He will take your pressure resistance right down. So if you get it with this guy a couple of times, you're dead. So just bear that one in mind. This brings us to our second boss encounter, if you like. And it's fairly complicated, to be in all honesty with you. It's pretty tricky, this one. We have a rally the flag. We have some guys there worshipping. Yeah. So to kick this off, we shoot the guys in the middle, and we are looking for 3 knights. Okay, 3 knights are going to appear, yellow bar knights. We're going to kill all 3 bar yellow knights. By the way, the one under the water, you can't kill him, just leave him alone, he'll do his own thing. Kill these 3 knights, and basically what we're going to do is spawn an ogre. An ogre will spawn right at the back of the room, upon the sort of terrace balcony area there. Go up to the ogre, kill the ogre, whilst also dispatching hopefully a lot of the Arachnoites and Thrallum and things that are running around everywhere. And as soon as these guys are dead, these knights, you get your ogre, you kill your ogre, deep sight will appear. Okay. Now, when deep sight has appeared, you are then given symbols around the edge of the room. Okay, so hanging up on little round plaques, if you like, is symbols. You know, the divide symbols and the ones with the lines and dots, etc. And basically, some of them will be lit up. Okay. Now, when they are lit up, it tells you which one to get. So if you've got the line with dots above it, for example, there you go, showing you the ogre right there. Look, Keeper of the Deep. They've all got these really cool names that I can never remember, but you get the gist. Once you've done that, normally somebody stays on top, deals with the ads, and there's water portals all the way around the edge. Yeah, so there's one in the middle, there's a couple of water ones. You go under the water. So we're after 3 symbols underwater. If you get the wrong one, you will die. So obviously you're going to get the one that you're actually after, because they're all there. Once you get the correct one above surface, on top of it, you know, not in the water, a Lucian Knight will appear, you know, one of the yellow bar jobbies. Kill him and you will get the vestige of light. Take that to one of the 3 monuments around the room. There's left, right, and one at the back. Click and hold, and you will drop your vestige of light into that monument. Don't forget to crush the knight's ghost. It's pretty key. If you forget to do that, it sort of repeats and you got to do it again. When you've done all 3, you get to the damage phase. Now, a warlock with well put at the front of this sort of starting area is handy. Personally, we've tried an array of different things to kill it with. Swords did pretty good because we were close range, quite a lot of damage there. As you can see, we've got 46,000 there on some of the heavy attacks, pretty good. Rocket launchers, not too bad if you're going to stand right back, but obviously they're quite slow to reload, so sort of use your own judgment on that a bit, whatever you're the most comfortable with. This guy on the average fire team, you know, because you're learning the mechanic, bear that in mind, is going to take probably 3 to 4 sort of, you know, goes at him, so you'll have to reset and do it all over again and go underwater, etc., and, you know, sort of go from there, but it's not too bad. So a bit of a learning curve and a bit of an explore, because obviously these underwater sections, when you're dropping in looking for the ruins, the little round symbols there, they're, you know, quite tricky because you've got that, you know, knight under there that you can't kill, and he will chase you around and take your pressure from you. So yeah, bit of practice with that one is my advice. Don't expect to sort of do it straight away. It's certainly tricky remembering everything at once, and coordination with your teammates on top is very important. So any one of you will go down, the other two will stay up top. You know, deal with all the ads, deal with the Lucian Knights, etc, etc. Okay, we got more traversal. And another fragment to pick up, so you know, don't run through all this area. There is a grate at the back there. There you go, hiding away behind the water that's pouring on it. Bungie really does put these things in some interesting locations, shall we say. And you can check your progress, of course, you know, as to which ghost fragments you're still missing. I'll be completely honest with you, on the first run of this, the very last ghost fragment, I actually missed it. We didn't go and get it. We completely forgot after killing the boss because it was our first run. So to get that fragment, you've got to go all the way back through the whole dungeon again, do the whole dungeon again to collect that fragment. Yeah, that wasn't too clever. But hey, you know, mistakes happen sort of thing on launch nights with these type of things. Right, so we're going to do more traversal, more things to kill. These aren't particularly difficult. You know, you got normal stuff to kill here, but there's a lot of parkour and jumping to do. Coming up on a secret, guys, so just pay attention to this one. Just quickly dispatch everything that's in the way. Yes, we've got a nice ogre there to get rid of, but when you've done that, everything does calm down. By now you'll have realised that this is actually a crashed sunken ship. Yeah, it's actually a spaceship that's crashed, a hive one, and it's sort of half underwater, half air pocketed, so it's quite an interesting location. Being underwater, being hive, theme of it all, and story related if you follow the story. Yeah, I won't give any spoilers out because it's still very early days for this. I wanted to get this dungeon out as quickly as possible for you guys so you could, you know, try and wrap it all up in 1 or 2 runs. Normally I run the dungeons a few times and then sort of do these guides, but nah, not on this particular one, not with all the collectibles and everything that's in it. So I won't tell you the ending. You probably already know it, but I won't tell you the ending. And there you go, guys. There's a second hidden chest for you to collect your stuff from. There you go. Got a Warlock Bond. Yeah, like I say, I do seem to be collecting the Warlock Bonds. The full armor sets, though, they do look absolutely fantastic for all the classes. You know, I've seen them all, and they are really, really nice. So it's worth repeating this dungeon, worth getting the armor for, in my opinion. Very, very nice. Just watch which shaders you put on. I can't remember the shader exactly that makes you go invisible, but part of you is invisible and part of you isn't, so not good. Right. Then we come out to the end encounter, and oh my god, do I believe this is complicated. It is complicated. It's a combination of all the other encounters, all the mechanics, all together, all in one. So we've got land, air, surface, and we've got underwater surface, we've got symbols to match and show, we've got deep sight to do, we've got to look through a lens, a lot of stuff. Let me explain in sort of step-by-step terms. Basically, we have Oryx's body, and they're trying to resurrect him. There's like a ghost above him. You've got his head, his chest, his arms, and feet, etc. Have a look around and figure out where they all are, because you'll be calling out to your teammates, head, chest, feet, etc., etc. And when it all starts, it's very, very, very active. The boss sort of follows you around, ogres will follow you around, you'll need to lead, not an ogre, sorry, knights follow you around, you'll need to lead a knight to location to make your life easy. It's quite tricky, so just bear that one in mind. The first thing you're looking for is green symbols on the floor that you can stand in, the light luminous green, and you are looking for Vorlog. He's a knight. Other knights will spawn yellow bar ones, forget them, you're looking for Vorlog. You've got to stand inside one of the green circles, outside, not in this area, outside, and kill Vorlog. Once dead, the wizard in the middle, the boss wizard if you like, is going to come over to your location. That will spawn two symbols. There's one that looks like a lens, a circle, and one that's like a hive symbol. You've got to look through the lens at the hive symbol, so jump up, look through the lens, look at the hive symbol, and that will spawn a full-on circular hive symbol, like a divide sign or an ice cream cone, etc., etc. In these underwater sections that you are seeing right now is all different hive symbols, all the different circles. So if you're going for the divide symbol, you've got to find the matching water area that has the divide symbol. In there, as you have just seen, is a very powerful knight. Well, in our case, it was a knight on this particular one. And you've got to watch for their shard attacks, etc. I mean, I got annihilated a few times going in and out of these different ones. Kill him rather, get the symbol, if you like, off that knight. You've got to crush his ghost. Don't forget to crush his ghost. Don't just kill him and wander off. That's no good. You've got to crush his ghost. Don't forget that one. We forgot certainly a few times on the first run because it's so hectic. Quick recap then. After killing Vorlog, 3 rooms all underwater, 3 different sort of mini bosses in them, if you like. You've got a knight, you've got an acolyte, and you've got a wizard. You've got to do the finisher on each one. Now, outside in the main room, the main bosses there, the symbol above them is the one you're looking for. One of them 3 rooms will have that symbol. You will gain Vestige of Light when you do the finisher in the underwater room. That person who's done that is on the countdown timer for the Vestige of Light. You've got to come back out into the main open area, and either yourself or one of your team members has got to do the visionary light, things like the white orb. You've got to click that, or one of you's got to click that, so you can see the symbol. Now, the symbol that floats above, near where the boss is, the person who's got the Vestige of Light has to walk up to that, or run up to that, and click on it, okay? That is the first phase. Then, Vorlog will spawn again. Well, it will after you've killed a few more bad guys. Rinse and repeat 3 times. So in other words, you're going to do all 3 ruins, and then you're on the damage phase for the main boss. It's all got to be done really, really quickly, guys. I can't stress that enough. 2 million damage you've got to get done on her. Bear that one in mind. So maybe a few goes. But that is nearly it, apart from where the last collectible is. And like I say, I missed the last one on this particular run. If you're standing looking at the open chest, to the left-hand side, and I will point it out, the water entrance, go in the water entrance, and in there you will find an emblem, and behind it is the last fragment. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.